Today we are going to discuss the last unit in image segmentation, that is region-based segmentation. It groups similar components such as pixels in an image frames in a video to obtain a compact representation. So application: finding tumors, veins, etc. in medical images, finding targets in satellite, finding peoples in surveillance imaging, and summarize videos. So there are a number of methods to do these things. Thresholding, K means clustering, then region growing, region splitting, and merging. Now region growing. Region growing is a procedure that groups pixels of subregions into a larger region. The simplest of these approaches is pixel aggregation, which starts with a set of seed points and from these grows region by appending each seed points those neighboring pixels that have similar property. That property might be an intensity or color or shape. So region growing based techniques are better than edge based techniques in noisy images where edges are difficult to detect. So basic formula for region based segmentation or region growing segmentation is, for example, if we have a region R and we can divide into sub number of images. So all those sub images are R1, R2, R3 dot to R of n. So union of all these regions is equal to capital R, means partitioning my original set R into a number of such partition R1 to Rn. These partitions should follow certain properties. The unions of all these regions Ri over I should give the original image. So capital R is a union of Ri. That means none of the pixels in an image should be left out. So every pixel in image should be a part of one of the partitions. Now next point is Ri should be connected. That means if we choose any 2 points in the region, then we should be able to find out a path between these 2 points, considering only the points which are already belonging to this region capital R. So we get n number of partition and every partition Ri should be connected. Now third point is Ri intersection Rj is phi or null for I is not equal to j. So the intersection of two subregions Ri and Rj should be equal to null if I and j are not equal. That means if we take a two partition, say R1 and R2, this R1 and R2 should be disjoint or should not be any common pixel. Now the fourth property is a logical predicate defined over points in the set of Ri should be true. The logical predicate deals with property that must be defined by the pixel in a segmented region. For example, Q of Ri is equal to 2 if all the pixels in Ri have same gray levels. Now, predicate of Ri union Rj is equal to false for I is not equal to j. This actually means that if we define a predicate for the pixels of the points belonging to a particular region, then the predicate must be true for all the points belonging to that particular region. That predicate is not true for other regions. So predicate of the union of Ri and Rj must be equal to false. For example, if you are considering two regions R1 and R2, and region R1, all the pixels have an intensity values lies between 100 to 120. So that predicate connects Ri region. So that is not true for R2 region. That means all the points belong to a particular region must be similar and the points belonging to two different regions are dissimilar. Now region going segmentation, in which we have to select a seed points. So there can be n number of seed points, as you can see in this figure, that we have selected 5 seed points. So as region growing name implies that it is a procedure which groups the pixel or sub-regions into a large region based on some predefined criteria. And in our case, predefined is the defined predicate. So if we start from a single point and try to find out what are the other points that can be grouped into the same group, which follows same criteria, or which the predicate value is, or for all of which the predicate is true. This seed points is generally provided by the user. So a good seed point can be drawn from the peak of the object histogram. So region growing starts from the seed points and tries to grow the region by incorporating the points which are similar to seed point. So it will try to expand in each the directions. For example, in the case of 4 connectivity, it will check this pixel, this pixel, this pixel, and this pixel. And if if these pixels follow some predicate, then they are going to be connected. In the same manner, if this pixel and this pixel have a similarity in some sense, for example in terms of intensity, then they are going to be grouped. Now if I have chosen a seed point and our region growing operation will start from the seed point, for this purpose I defined a 3 cross 3 neighborhood around this seed point, and the other property is every region or every partition has to be connected. That means when I start to grow the region starting from the seed point, then all the points which I will include in the same group or in the same partition, these points have to be connected. In this figure I started with S0, then there are 3 points which are connected, which have some kind of similarities. So if these points are S1, S2 and S5, now again S1 will look after its neighbor pixel, and if they are having some kind of similarities and they are connected, so it will go expand in this way. If they do, it will stop once it does not find any kind of connectivity or any kind of similarities, so it will stop. So process will stop when no more new points included in the same group. You can see in this figure, we started this seed point, then it connected to 4 points, and all these 4 points are further connected. So in this way the region is growing. So selecting a number of seed points and image follows some criteria. Seed point selection is an application dependent. Once we select the seed points, then start growing the region by incorporating more and more points which are connected as well as similar. At the end, number of regions are grown around these seed points. As you can see in this example, that we are going to select 2 seed points. One is this one, another one is 7. And the similarity condition of predicate, we define that if the intensity difference is less than 3, then those points are similar. So now, and also we are considering here 4 connectivity. So this point and this point difference is less than 3. So they are connected or similar. So this point 1 is represented by A. Since this point is similar to this, So we are also replace this pixel as a. Similarly, it will check this downward pixel. This is again a because difference is less than 3. It will go on the left side again less than 3. So it will connected, or it will be a. Now this point which is right side of this pixel is 5. So difference is greater than 3. So they are not connected. So they are at different regions. So in this way we are connected all those pixels which have difference in intensity less than 3. And similarly for this 7, upward 8 which is difference is less than 3. So we are going to connect this one. So we are going to replace with B. So we can see in this figure, in the process figure, that all those regions, all those pixels which lies in the first 2 columns are connected, and they are represented by A. And all those pixels which are in the 3rd, 4th and 5th column, they are going to be connected. Now this one is another example. This one is a 2-dimensional matrix of an image. If we are going to choose a 4 connectivity, then and difference is less than or equal to 5, then those pixels are connected. So from starting this pixel, seed pixel 60, we will go upward 64. The difference is less than 5. So they are connected. But here we cannot choose the diagonal one since we are using 4 connectivity. So in this way, all those pixels which are represented by light red color or orange color are connected one, because all the difference between the intensity is less than 5 and we are using a 4 connectivity. If we are using an 8 connectivity, then all those diagonal pixels whose intensity is less than 5, intensity difference is less than or equal to 5, they are going to be connected. So this figure representing the 8 connectivity, and predicate is intensity is less than or equal to 5. Now this shows an example of region growing segmentation. So this figure A is an X-ray image of a weld, and in that we can see that there are many cracks within the welded region, or there may be some faults within the welded region, and these faults can be captured by using an X-ray image. So whenever there is a fault, the faulty region in X-ray image going to have a very high intensity values. So this figure B is corresponding threshold image. As we can see that the higher intensity values are more close towards the 255. So now we are going to choose a point, a pixel intensity values for thresholding operation to select the seed point. So if we are going to select an intensity value, for example 254, then after whatever intensities that are greater than 254 are going to be represented by 1, and whatever intensity are less than 254 are going to be represented by 0. So this figure C is corresponding thresholded image. Now if we can take if we are going to zoom this input image, then we can locate n number of seed points. So now start the region growing operation around each of these seed points. The region growing operation has to be done on this original image, not on the threshold image. This thresholding operation simply done is to select the seed points. Once you get the seed points, come to the corresponding seed point location in your original image, X-ray image, and grow the region starting from those seed locations within the original X-ray image. And this one shows the region that grows. And now if we superimpose the boundary of this region on this original X-ray image, This superposition output is shown in this figure. Here you will find that these are actually the boundary regions, boundaries which are superimposed on the original image. So you will find that your segmentation operation in this particular case is quite satisfactory as compared to the thresholding. So by using a similarity measures and incorporating them along with the region going operation, we can have a quite satisfactory segmentation operation. The advantages and disadvantages of region growing methods can be correctly separate the regions that have the same properties we define, because predicate is defined by the user. Region growing methods can provide the original image which have clear edges with good segmentation result. The concept is simple. We only need a number of seed points to represent the property we want, then grow the region. And disadvantages is it is computationally expensive, it is a local method with no global view of problem, then it is sensitive to noise. Unless the image has had a threshold function applied to it, a continuous path of points related to color may exist, which connects any 2 points in the image. Now, the another one is region splitting and merging. So region growing starts from a set of seed points. So basically region growing is a bottom to up approach. An alternative is to start with whole image as a single image region and subdivide the regions that do not satisfy condition of homogeneity. So region merging is opposite to region splitting. Start with a small region and merge the regions that have similar characteristics such as gray level. Now these are some basic conditions that applies to region splitting and merging. Capital R is the entire image, Ri is the sub image, and Q is a predicate. For any region capital Ri, if predicate of Ri is equal to false, we divide the image Ri into quadrants. When no further splitting is possible, merge any adjacent region Rj and Rk for which predicate of Rj union Rk is true. Stop when no further merging is possible. So region splitting and merging based on quad trees, the root of the tree corresponding to the image, split the image to sub image that do not satisfy a predicate Q. If only splitting was used, the final partition would contain adjacent regions with identical properties. So after splitting, we have to check the predicate with adjacent regions, and if they satisfy, we have to merge them. A merging step follows merging region that satisfies the predicate Q. So now I am going to explain with the help of this figure. Initially, we have a complete image, that is a non-partition image. That region is known as capital R. So now we are going to divide it into quadrants, 4 quadrants. For example, R1, R2, R3 and R4. Now further we are going to partition R4 into 4 quadrants. That will similarly happens to R1, R2 and R3 also. So now R4 has been divided into R41, R42, R43 and R44. Now if R43 and R3 have a same property, have a same predicate, then they are going to be merged. And if R43 and R44 do not have a same predicate, then they are not going to be merged. So you can see an example in which this one is an original image and this one is corresponding to splitting and merging operation, and this one is corresponding to thresholding operation. As you can clearly see in the segmentation after thresholding, this fine information has been missed out. While in the case of splitting and merging operation, you can clearly see this finer details that are present in the original image. Similarly, this one is an image where we applied a region splitting and merging. Since you have to divide the complete image into 4 quadrants, and the size of that region, for example, if we choose a 32 cross 32, then this is corresponding to output result of region splitting and merging. And if we choose a quadrant region like 16 cross 16, then this C figure is corresponding output. And if we are going to choose an 8 cross 8, then D figure is the corresponding output. As you can see, if we are choosing a large quad regions, that will lead to a block like segmentation. We want to segment this dense region. So this will look like a block like segmentation. If we choose a smaller quadrant regions, that will lead to a small black regions. As you can clearly see in the figure D. 16 cross 16 seems to be a best result, but that is application dependent. Not 16 cross 16 is not an ideal one. Thank you.